Hello, here I am with a short mini lesson, the first mini lesson of a series to help you deal with some aspects of the speaking test, okay, and to give you some practical advice for improvement, okay. This one is about mediating, as you can see, and more particularly about explaining the content of a text or introducing the content of a text. So while I'm not going to deal with mediation in depth, obviously, I would like to point out some two important things to bear in mind. Okay, when talking about mediating a text, first of all, you must know that in an exam, in an advanced C1 exam, you may have to mediate a written text like this, okay, where you have a short text, okay, with some ideas that you would have to explain to an interlocutor. All right, as you know, it's very important that you identify the main ideas and also the supporting arguments and examples. Okay, or you might have to mediate a pie chart like this. Okay, here there is some important information missing, like, for example, the source of the information or what the figures refer to, which is, as far as I remember, the percentage of tourism in these cities. Okay, but that would be an example of visual information that you have to mediate. Okay, all right. Even though the vocabulary and some linguistic features may be different if it's a text or a piece of visual information, there is something that is very much the same in both. And this would be it. All right, for example, be careful with a typical mistake, which is how you introduce the information. A very typical mistake is to say the text says, the chart talks about, and the text tells about. Okay? All right. So why is it a mistake? Well, because once you identify the main idea of what the purpose of the text, or why was the text even created, we wouldn't use the verb say, talk about, or tell about to mediate, because it sounds rather imprecise and is not so communicative, actually. All right, have a look at these alternatives here of possible solutions. Can you see the difference? The text is about the findings. The text introduces the findings, describes the findings, or describes the trends, if it were a chart, presents the findings or presents the current trends in, or explains the findings or explains the current trends in. Can you see the difference? A person who is either listening or reading can immediately locate what kind of information you're talking about. Okay, so it's much more descriptive, much more effective, and definitely facilitates your interlocutor's understanding. So I strongly encourage you to be more precise. You can do that when you're referring to the actual text, the information of the text, or why not, if you wish to refer to what the author is trying to express. You could use, instead of the author says or the author tells us that, why not things like the author suggests, or the author argues or highlights, or the author points out or concludes. Okay, these are just some examples. Obviously, there are more, and depending on the type of text you have to mediate, you will need one type of verb and vocabulary or other. But that is a very important thing to start with. Okay, identify the main idea and choose the verbs wisely. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. I'll see you another time.